Have you ever wondered, behind the dazzling lights of Hollywood legends, what battles they had to fight to protect their deepest, most private selves? They were icons on the silver screen, pioneers who shaped the American dream with every role they played. Yet behind every radiant smile on the red carpet lay secrets they had to guard fiercely, fears that, if uncovered, could cost them everything: their careers, their reputations, and sometimes even their dignity. The golden age of Hollywood, where names like Rock Hudson and Rudolph Valentino were celebrated as symbols of masculinity, was also an era that showed no mercy to those who dared to deviate from societal norms. These stars were not just artists, but bearers of the immense burden of their time, a time when coming out as gay could end everything. In that unforgiving world, each of them chose their own way to navigate the constraints. Some stayed silent, leading reclusive lives to protect their fame. Others dared to defy prejudice, only to pay a heavy price. And there were those who found peace only after the spotlight dimmed, finally living their truth. Today, we will delve into the stories of 25 Hollywood stars, individuals who lived at the intersection of dazzling fame and the shadows of personal secrets. These stories not only highlight their personal struggles, but also serve as a poignant reminder of society's long journey toward understanding and accepting differences. These individuals, standing at the pinnacle of their careers, paid the price of loneliness in their own lives. To protect their reputations and the dazzling light of fame, they chose to conceal a part of themselves, fully aware that the cost would be a lingering solitude. Yet, in that world, each faced their fears in their own way, creating stories that were both quiet and profound. Roddy McDowall is one name that leaves many wondering, why would someone as talented and charming as him never marry? Born in London in 1928, McDowall began his acting career as a child and quickly rose to stardom with over 270 roles in a career spanning 60 years. With bright eyes and a warm smile, he won the hearts of audiences through iconic performances in classics like Planet of the Apes and How Green Was My Valley. But unlike the glamorous image on screen, McDowall chose a quiet life off-screen. He never married and revealed nothing about his personal life, leaving the public endlessly curious. In an era when Hollywood refused to accept any form of difference, McDowall understood that coming out about his sexual orientation could destroy everything he had built. He chose silence, avoiding all questions about his private life and never marrying. It was not an act of weakness, but a calculated sacrifice. He lived between two worlds. On one side, the image of a gifted artist, and on the other, his true self, forever hidden. His close friendships with Elizabeth Taylor and Montgomery Clift, who faced similar societal pressures, became a source of deep empathy for him. With them, he did not need to act or wear the glamorous mask of Hollywood. These friendships, shared with those who bore the same burden, provided him solace while he safeguarded his reputation and self-respect. McDowall consistently exuded an air of elegance, humor, and charm, both on screen and in real life. Those who knew him admired his professionalism and resilience. His choice to remain silent was not born out of fear, but from an understanding that, at times, silence is the only way to protect everything one holds dear. Like McDowall, Raymond Burr, the star of the television series Perry Mason, carried a deeply personal secret. Born in Canada in 1917, Burr became renowned for his commanding presence and deep, resonant voice, earning him a place in the hearts of audiences. His roles often embodied integrity and exceptional talent, portraying him as the ideal man who always stood for justice. Yet behind the glow of fame lay a truth he could never reveal. At the time, Hollywood was rife with prejudice, where even a whisper of controversy about one's private life could destroy a career. Burr understood this all too well and constructed an entirely fabricated backstory to protect himself. He claimed to have endured a tragic marriage with a wife and son who had both passed away. However, no records of these events ever existed. This narrative was his way of deflecting attention from his personal life. In reality, Burr had a 33-year relationship with Robert Benavides, an actor and producer who shared his life behind the scenes. This relationship brought him solace, but it could never be acknowledged publicly in an era when any deviation from societal norms was seen as a grave transgression. Burr was forced to hide the person he loved most and maintain the image of a perfect man in the public eye, a sacrifice few could truly comprehend. Despite living in the shadow of his truth, Burr exuded calmness and professionalism in his career. His silence was not an act of cowardice, but a deliberate choice, born of the understanding that sometimes concealment is the only way to protect both love and livelihood. This secret life did not diminish Burr's professional legacy, but instead revealed another side of him, a strong man compelled to live in the shadows of his truth to safeguard everything he had built. Behind the glittering spotlight of Raymond Burr stood James Coco, a naturally gifted comedic talent who also lived a life torn between the stage lights and the secrets he could never share. Born in New York in 1930, Coco embodied the distinctive humor of his hometown, a trait that quickly propelled him to stardom on Broadway and in Hollywood. Yet that humor, the very essence that captivated audiences, served as a mask to conceal the deep pain he carried within. The artistic world of the 1960s celebrated talent, but it was also a place rife with judgment. Coco, with his transformative abilities and unforgettable roles, such as in Man of La Mancha, constantly grappled with a harsh truth. Not every aspect of who he was could be accepted. This forced him to guard his secrets closely, even as success continued to elevate him to greater heights. What set Coco apart, however, was his ability to channel this inner turmoil into his art. On stage, he became the embodiment of creative freedom, delivering performances so vibrant and profound that only someone deeply attuned to human emotions could achieve them. Yet when the curtain fell, Coco returned to himself, a man worn down by societal pressures, but determined to persevere and protect the career he so deeply cherished. Coco was not one for the limelight outside of his craft, but in his close relationships, he left a lasting impression with his sincerity and warmth. Those who worked with him knew a man full of love, someone who always placed art and personal expression above all else, despite the challenges he faced. For James Coco, comedy was more than just a profession. It was the only place where he could find true liberation. This profound connection to his craft made him one of the most distinctive figures in the world of entertainment. A man who brought laughter to countless others while his own pain remained forever hidden in the shadows. The story of James Coco leads us to Montgomery Clift, one of the most brilliant actors of Hollywood's golden age, and a man who spent his life wrestling with the tension between fame and deeply held secrets. Born in 1920 in Omaha, Nebraska, Clift was a pioneer of method acting, celebrated for his unforgettable performances in classics such as A Place in the Sun, From Here to Eternity, and The Misfits. Yet, behind the glimmer of the silver screen, Clift's life was marked by inner turmoil and unrelenting pain. Clift was renowned for his strikingly handsome looks, magnetic charm, and deeply emotional acting style. He brought an unparalleled sensitivity and complexity to his roles, a quality that few male actors of his time could replicate. However, his personal life remained an enigma. He never publicly acknowledged his sexual orientation, constrained by the harsh realities of an era where coming out as gay could mean the immediate end of a career. Despite this, his close friends, including Elizabeth Taylor, Clift's lifelong confidant, were well aware of his same-sex relationships, which he was forced to keep hidden. A pivotal moment in Clift's life occurred in 1956, when he was involved in a catastrophic car accident after leaving a party at Elizabeth Taylor's home. The crash left his face severely disfigured, necessitating multiple reconstructive surgeries. Though he continued acting afterward, Clift was never the same. The accident shattered his confidence in his appearance and plunged him into a downward spiral of alcohol and painkiller addiction, which took a severe toll on both his physical and mental health. In his final years, Clift became a man haunted by his past, surrounded by loneliness and depression. Despite his attempts to continue contributing to his craft, the pain and secrets he carried overshadowed his once brilliant talent. He passed away in 1966 at the age of 45 in his New York apartment, leaving behind a legacy of profound sorrow among his admirers. Montgomery Clift was not just a remarkable actor, but a symbol of the complexity of the human spirit. He lived a life both dazzling and tragic, constantly navigating the expectations of the public while battling his private anguish. His performances on screen endure as a poignant reminder that, at times, the deepest truths and rawest emotions are best expressed through the fictional stories brought to life on the silver screen. In stark contrast to Montgomery Clift's quiet discretion, the story of Rock Hudson erupted like a storm in the heart of Hollywood. As one of the biggest icons of the silver screen in the 1950s, Hudson possessed striking good looks, a commanding presence, and a smile that captivated millions. Born in Illinois in 1925, he quickly rose to the pinnacle of stardom with romantic roles in classics like Pillow Talk and Giant. However, the brighter his fame shone, the deeper Hudson was drawn into a double life, where his public image clashed entirely with his true self. Hollywood at the time was not only unforgiving, but also riddled with rigid expectations that a star like Hudson could not defy. To maintain his image as the ultimate on-screen masculine heartthrob, Hudson agreed to a sham marriage with Phyllis Gates, the secretary of his agent. The marriage lasted 3 years, long enough to appease public expectations and quell growing rumors. For Hudson, however, it was just another performance, a real-life role he was forced to play to safeguard his career. Yet, secrets can only remain hidden for so long. Hudson carefully navigated private relationships with those he loved, always mindful of the relentless scrutiny of the media. Among close colleagues, he was remembered as a kind, generous, and genuine friend. But behind this amiable exterior, Hudson lived in constant fear that one day his truth would be exposed. That day came in 1984 when Hudson was diagnosed with AIDS, a disease then heavily stigmatized and closely associated with the LGBTQ+ community. The revelation of his health shocked the world, and for the first time, Hudson could no longer escape the reality of his life. In 1985, he publicly acknowledged his diagnosis, becoming one of the first major celebrities to confront the disease openly. Hudson's courage marked a turning point in public awareness of AIDS, making him an unexpected symbol in the fight against the stigma surrounding the illness. Rock Hudson, who had spent much of his life living a double existence, concluded his journey with his truth revealed. He left behind not only an extraordinary artistic legacy, but also a profound impact on how Hollywood and the world viewed the LGBTQ+ community and those living with HIV/AIDS. While Rock Hudson faced an unintentional public reckoning of his private life, Will Geer chose a different path to uphold his beliefs and ideals. Born in 1902 in Indiana, Geer became widely known for his role as Grandpa Zeb Walton in the iconic television series, The Waltons. With his calm demeanor and resonant voice, he quickly became the embodiment of a kind and loving grandfather to audiences. Yet behind this revered image lay a complex life story, where political ideals, art, and love intertwined in intricate ways. Will Geer was not just an actor, but also a fervent political activist. In the 1930s, he actively participated in social movements and even had a romantic relationship with Harry Hay, one of the founders of the gay rights movement in the United States. Their relationship was not merely personal, but also deeply rooted in shared ideals of social justice. However, societal pressures of the time made it impossible for their bond to endure. Gere ultimately married actress Herta Ware and built a family, though he never completely abandoned the truth of who he was. Living on the boundary between ideals and practicality was never easy. During the political turmoil of the 1950s, when anti-communist sentiment swept through America, Gere was blacklisted in Hollywood for his progressive activism. Unable to find work in the entertainment industry, he returned to his first love, the theater. Gere founded a small theater in Topanga Canyon, California, where he and his family created a vibrant artistic community where dreams of art and social ideals could coexist. Despite the tension between his ideals and reality, Gere maintained a calm resolve and unwavering dedication to his craft. Those close to him remembered him as a man with a generous heart, always willing to share and defend what he believed in. His portrayal of Grandpa Walton not only marked his return to the spotlight, but also conveyed a profound message of family and connection, values he had championed throughout his life. While Will Gere found solace on his small stage, Rudolph Valentino was swept into an unending storm of public scrutiny. As a symbol of romance and passion during the silent film era, Valentino earned the title of the Latin Lover, captivating millions with his alluring looks and melancholy gaze. Yet behind the international fame of a Hollywood icon, Valentino faced relentless speculation about his personal life. Born in Italy in 1895, Valentino arrived in America with big dreams. Films like The Sheik and Blood and Sand turned him into one of Hollywood's most sought-after stars, an emblem of masculinity and allure. However, his personal life was far from the public image he projected. His two brief and tumultuous marriages, to Jean Acker and Natasha Rambova, only fueled rumors about his sexual orientation. His first marriage to Jean Acker ended on their wedding night, when Acker locked him out of their bedroom, leaving Valentino humiliated and alone. His second marriage to Natasha Rambova, a talented but strong-willed designer, fractured under the strain of professional and lifestyle conflicts. Adding to the intrigue, both women in Valentino's life were themselves rumored to be in same-sex relationships, further complicating his public persona. Valentino's close relationships with male colleagues also sparked suspicion. In an era when any deviation from societal norms was harshly criticized, he became a frequent target in the press. He was even mocked as the pink powder puff, a derogatory jab at his refined mannerisms and appearance. These taunts deeply hurt Valentino, prompting him to publicly defend his honor on multiple occasions. Despite the relentless gossip, Valentino never openly discussed his personal life. Instead, he poured his energy into his craft, dedicating himself to his roles and leaving behind a legacy that remains etched in cinematic history. His sudden death at the age of 31 not only ended a legend, but also left many unanswered questions about his true self. Rudolph Valentino's short life was a blend of the dazzling light of fame and the shadows of hidden truths, a story that continues to intrigue and sadden fans to this day. While Valentino battled rumors throughout his brief life, Sir John Gielgud, a towering figure of the English stage, faced harsh challenges when confronted with public persecution. Born in 1904 in London, Gielgud was one of the greatest actors of the 20th century, celebrated for his performances in Shakespearean plays and classic films. Yet, despite his undeniable talent, Gielgud's personal life was fraught with difficulties in the context of a deeply prejudiced British society. In 1953, at the age of 49, Gielgud was arrested for improper solicitation at a public restroom in Chelsea, London, a charge often used to entrap gay men. At a time when homosexuality was still illegal in the UK, this incident became a major scandal, threatening his reputation and career. The public backlash was so intense that Gielgud contemplated withdrawing from the stage entirely. However, in an unexpected turn of events, the arts community and audiences rallied to his defense. During a performance shortly after the scandal, Gielgud was met with prolonged applause from the audience, a powerful gesture of empathy and support. This moment not only salvaged his career but also marked a subtle shift in society's attitude toward the LGBTQ+ community. Despite this, Gielgud maintained a discreet approach to his personal life. He rarely spoke publicly about his sexual orientation, choosing instead to focus on his art and his contributions to the theater. Over a career spanning more than 70 years, Gielgud received numerous prestigious accolades, including an Oscar, a Tony, and multiple BAFTAs, proving that his talent transcended societal prejudice. Alongside his illustrious career, Gielgud enjoyed a nearly 40-year relationship with Martin Hensler, who remained by his side until Hensler's passing in 1998. It was a quiet yet profound love, reflecting the way Gielgud chose to navigate the pressures and prejudices of his era. Jack Cassidy, a man of striking looks and charismatic charm, captivated audiences with his performances on stage and television. Yet behind the glamour lay a life filled with mystery and contradictions. Born in 1927 in New York, Cassidy built a celebrated career with roles that enchanted Broadway and television viewers alike. However, when the stage lights dimmed, he faced personal struggles he could never openly share. Cassidy married actress Shirley Jones in 1956, creating the image of a model Hollywood family. The couple had 3 sons, including David Cassidy, the breakout star of the Partridge Family. But the picture-perfect family life was merely a facade, as deep down Cassidy wrestled with emotions and truths he felt compelled to conceal. His secret same-sex relationships were an open secret in Hollywood, where he quietly endured societal judgment and speculation. Those who worked closely with Cassidy described him as a complex and magnetic individual, full of contradictions. He had a natural flair for commanding attention, both on stage and in life, but struggled with the pressures of fame. As his alcoholism worsened, Cassidy lost control over many aspects of his life, leading to instability in both his career and family. His marriage to Shirley Jones eventually ended in 1975, when the rifts between them became irreparable. Just a year later, Cassidy died tragically in a fire at his apartment. His sudden passing brought an abrupt end to a life that had been both luminous and shadowed, leaving behind unanswered questions about the secrets he carried. Despite the turmoil, Cassidy's artistic legacy continues to endure, a testament to the complexity and multifaceted nature of Hollywood stars during its golden era. If Jack Cassidy's life was marked by contradictions and secrets, Cesar Romero, a Hollywood icon of a different kind, chose to navigate societal pressures in his own unique way. Known as the Latin lover of the silver screen, Romero's rugged good looks and natural charm made him a staple of romantic films in the 1930s and 1940s. Yet despite his image as a dashing leading man, his personal life remained an enigma. Born in 1907 in New York to a Cuban family, Romero quickly rose to stardom thanks to his humor and distinctive style, most famously portraying the Joker in the Batman television series of the 1960s. However, off-screen, Romero kept a clear boundary between his private life and the public eye. While tabloids paired him with several prominent female stars, including Joan Crawford and Carmen Miranda, these relationships were largely platonic or orchestrated by Hollywood. Choosing to remain a lifelong bachelor, Romero avoided questions about love and marriage. His discretion earned the respect of his peers, but whispers about his private life persisted, with rumors of discreet relationships with men in the entertainment industry. While Romero never publicly acknowledged these speculations, he also never outright denied them. Instead, he often deflected with humor, leaving both the press and the public guessing. What set Romero apart was his ability to enjoy life on his terms. He once remarked, "I never got married because I like to live free and do what I want." This openness, though indirect, allowed him to navigate the heavy societal prejudices of his time without being embroiled in scandal or controversy. Over a career spanning more than 6 decades, Romero maintained his reputation as a debonair gentleman, celebrated for his humor and optimism. Though he kept his personal life private, his professionalism and exceptional talent earned him the enduring admiration of colleagues and fans alike. With his signature smile and self-assured demeanor, Cesar Romero lived a life not easily understood by others, but always true to himself. A man who chose silence, yet never dimmed his own light. Unlike Cesar Romero's discreet silence, Liberace turned the stage into his world, a realm of glittering extravagance and bold style that masked the hidden corners of his personal life. Born in 1919 in Wisconsin, Liberace was not only an exceptional pianist, but also a cultural phenomenon. With his sparkling outfits, lavish stage sets, and radiant smile, he became one of the most iconic entertainers of the 20th century. Yet behind the dazzling exterior lay a life pressured to conceal the truth about who he was. Liberace crafted an image of perfection for the public, often speaking about his love for women in interviews and even writing about his ideal wife in magazines. But it was all a facade. In reality, he had long-term relationships with several men, most notably Scott Thorson, a partner 40 years his junior, who became central to some of the most dramatic episodes in Liberace's life. The relationship with Thorson began like a fairy tale. Liberace was not just a lover, but also a benefactor, making Thorson an integral part of his life and career. However, their relationship ended in turmoil and scandal when Thorson sued Liberace in 1982, demanding financial support and revealing intimate details of their private life. The lawsuit quickly became a media spectacle, bringing unprecedented scrutiny to Liberace's personal affairs. Despite the growing public interest, Liberace consistently denied all rumors about his sexual orientation, claiming the accusations were fabricated by the press. He even won several libel lawsuits, famously quipping, "I cried all the way to the bank." In 1987, Liberace passed away due to complications from AIDS. His death not only marked the end of a glittering life, but also illuminated the hidden truths about his identity. While he never publicly came out, posthumous revelations offered a new perspective on his life, a story of a brilliant artist constrained by the societal prejudices of his time. Liberace lived a life of grandeur on stage, but fought to protect his private world from the spotlight. In the end, he remains a legend, not only for his extraordinary talent, but also for his courage in facing deeply personal challenges. Unlike Liberace's dazzling stage, the world of James Mitchell was quiet, but filled with deep emotion and a love kept hidden for decades. Born in 1920 in Sacramento, California, Mitchell was best known for his portrayal of Palmer Cortlandt in the long-running soap opera All My Children. Over more than 30 years in the role, he cemented the image of a sophisticated and strong man in the hearts of audiences. Yet, behind the scenes, his personal life held a story few knew. Mitchell never publicly disclosed his sexual orientation, a decision he maintained throughout his life to protect his career. In an era when Hollywood was still deeply conservative, he understood that any revelation could destroy everything he had worked so hard to build. However, to those close to him, his long-term relationship with costume designer Albert Wolski was an open secret, shared in mutual understanding and respect. Mitchell and Wolski met in the 1960s, at a time when both were pursuing the heights of their careers in the entertainment industry. Their love endured for 39 years, a testament to their deep and enduring bond amidst the challenges of the era. Although they never appeared publicly as a couple, those who knew Mitchell recognized Wolski as his steadfast partner and companion. On stage and screen, Mitchell delivered performances rich in emotion, demonstrating a profound understanding of human nature. His roles were not merely a profession, but a means to express parts of himself that were otherwise constrained in his private life. While the public remembers him as an exceptional actor, those closest to him respected the silence he chose to protect both himself and the man he loved. James Mitchell passed away in 2010, taking with him the secrets he had guarded all his life. Yet his enduring relationship with Albert Wolski, though never openly acknowledged, remains an inseparable part of his story, a story of sacrifice and devotion in a time when differences were still not widely accepted. Following James Mitchell's quiet story, we come to George Nader, a Hollywood star who gave up the spotlight to live authentically. Born in 1921 in California, Nader was a rising star of the 1950s, known for his roles in films like Robot Monster and The Female Animal. Though he never reached the same level of fame as close friends like Rock Hudson, Nader left a mark with audiences through his masculine and natural acting style. Yet, instead of continuing to chase fame, he chose a different path, one filled with challenges but also profound meaning. Hollywood in that era was not a place that embraced differences, especially for members of the LGBTQ+ community. For George Nader, his deep and enduring relationship with Mark Miller, his partner of over 55 years, was an inseparable part of his life. While they never lived openly as a couple, their discreet yet genuine life together was a testament to a bond that defied societal barriers. Nader knew that to protect himself and those he loved, he would have to leave Hollywood as rumors about his personal life grew more widespread. In the early 1970s, he retired from acting, moved to Europe with Miller, and began a new career as a writer. Among his works, the science fiction novel Chrome, featuring openly gay protagonists, stands as a landmark achievement, affirming both his creative freedom and personal voice. Although he stepped away from the spotlight, Nader never lost his love for the arts. He and Miller lived a quiet yet meaningful life, cherishing their companionship and shared experiences over the decades. To those close to him, Nader was a warm, humorous person who had a knack for making others feel at ease. George Nader passed away in 2002, leaving behind a story of courage and fidelity to himself. Though he no longer graced the silver screen, his legacy serves as a reminder that sometimes stepping away from fame is not a failure, but a way to find true freedom and happiness. If George Nader's story was one of quiet freedom, Dick Sargent's was a bold and risky choice to live openly as himself. Born in 1930 in California, Sargent was a familiar face on American television, best known for his role as Darren Stevens on the iconic series Bewitched. While audiences adored his on-screen portrayal of a dependable husband, Sargent's real life was a long journey toward self-acceptance and peace. During the height of his career, Sargent chose to keep his sexual orientation hidden. He understood that Hollywood at the time was not a place that tolerated anyone deviating from societal norms. His discretion was not merely a choice, but a necessity to safeguard his career. Yet, while he maintained his secret from the public, Sargent's close friends knew him as a sincere and emotional man, constantly grappling with the tension between his personal truth and societal pressures. In the early 1990s, having moved past the peak of his career, Sargent decided to do what he had once avoided: publicly come out as gay. In a 1991 interview with People magazine, Sargent openly discussed his sexuality for the first time, marking a significant milestone not only in his personal life, but also in Hollywood history. This decision was not only a liberation for himself, but also an inspiration to others within the LGBTQ+ community. Following his coming out, Sargent became an active advocate, particularly in campaigns to raise awareness about HIV/AIDS, a disease that had claimed the lives of many within his community. He used his platform to raise funds and encourage public empathy, becoming a symbol of courage and compassion. Dick Sargent passed away in 1994, but his legacy extends beyond his memorable performances. He remains a testament to the bravery of living authentically. Through his life, he demonstrated that even in the face of immense challenges, truth is the path to freedom and meaning, From the courageous openness of Dick Sargent, we move into the deeply emotional story of Nigel Hawthorne, a talented English actor who spent much of his life guarding his privacy against society's harsh scrutiny. Born in 1929 in Coventry, England, Hawthorne was a master of stage and screen, best known for his complex portrayal in The Madness of King George and the beloved series Yes, Minister. While his career was a testament to his intellect and artistic depth, his personal life was a journey filled with challenges. Hawthorne shared a relationship spanning over 2 decades with Trevor Bentham, a steadfast companion in his life. Yet for most of that time, Hawthorne chose to remain silent about his sexual orientation. He lived in an era where coming out was unthinkable for a male actor. Hawthorne understood that even a hint of disclosure could jeopardize the career he had worked so hard to build. Everything changed in 1995 when The Madness of King George gained international acclaim, thrusting Hawthorne into the global spotlight. However, the fame also brought unwelcome scrutiny. A British media report outed Hawthorne, forcing him to confront the situation publicly. Though it was deeply uncomfortable for him, Hawthorne decided to face the truth and shared his long-standing relationship with Bentham. It was not an easy choice, but his honesty earned widespread support from both audiences and colleagues. Hawthorne continued his acting career undeterred by the involuntary publicity, delivering more brilliant performances and cementing his place as one of England's greatest actors. His relationship with Bentham remained strong and enduring, serving as a source of inspiration to those around him. Nigel Hawthorne passed away in 2001, leaving behind a rich artistic legacy and a story of courage and perseverance. He chose to rise above the prejudices of his time to live and contribute fully, proving that truth is always the foundation of freedom and happiness. Following the quiet secrets of Nigel Hawthorne's life, Tony Randall's story takes on a different tone, one where charm and humor served as a veil for truths not easily shared. Born in 1920 in Tulsa, Oklahoma, Randall became widely recognized for his portrayal of Felix Unger in The Odd Couple. With his witty, sophisticated humor and refined artistic sensibilities, Randall captured the hearts of audiences for decades. Yet, beneath his vibrant public persona, lay layers of mystery not easily unraveled. Randall defied the traditional masculine image of Hollywood. Instead of confining himself to action or romantic roles, he stood out for his intellect, sharp comedic timing, and fervent passion for the arts. However, this uniqueness often made him the subject of speculation about his personal life, particularly regarding his sexual orientation. Randall never addressed these rumors publicly, choosing instead to focus on his work and live life in a way that brought him the most comfort and joy. His 50-year marriage to his first wife, Florence Gibbs, was a cornerstone of his public image. The couple shared a happy, devoted life until Florence's passing in 1992. Her death marked a turning point for Randall. In 1995, he remarried Heather Harlan, a woman 50 years his junior, sparking widespread media and public attention. The marriage drew controversy not only because of the age gap, but also because it reignited rumors about Randall's personal life. Yet, he remained unfazed, simply stating, "We love each other, and that's all that matters." At the age of 75, Randall became a father to 2 children, a decision he described as a wonderful new chapter in his life. This move further added to the intrigue surrounding him. A man who was both understated and bold, always charting his own path. Tony Randall passed away in 2004, leaving behind a monumental career and the image of an artist who relentlessly pursued originality in both life and art. Whatever secrets he may have held, remain an inseparable part of the man who chose to live above societal judgments, leaving behind unforgettable performances and laughter that will forever resonate with his audience. If Tony Randall's story was one of charm and mystery, Kerwin Matthews' tale offers a different perspective, one of stepping away from the spotlight to live authentically. Born in 1926 in Seattle, Matthews is best remembered for his heroic roles in fantastical adventure films like The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad and Jack the Giant Killer. With his handsome looks and commanding presence, he became a symbol of magical tales on screen. But Matthews's real life was equally intriguing and deeply moving. In an era when Hollywood was unforgiving to those who dared to live openly, Matthews chose to keep his private life under wraps. Close friends knew of his enduring relationship with Tom Nichol, his partner of over 46 years. However, Matthews never publicly disclosed his sexual orientation, a decision driven by both caution and a profound respect for privacy. In 1963, Matthews made the pivotal decision to leave Hollywood. The pressures and constraints of the entertainment industry had become stifling, prompting him to seek a quieter life. He moved to San Francisco, where he and Nicole built a simple yet meaningful life together. In a time when LGBTQ+ individuals faced widespread social exclusion, Matthews and Nicole lived quietly but happily, finding the freedom they could not have in Hollywood. Although Matthews stepped away from acting, he was never forgotten. His performances in adventure films continued to resonate with audiences, and his way of life stood as a testament to resilience and courage. He did not challenge societal prejudices directly, but neither did he let them dictate his existence. Kerwin Matthews passed away in 2007, closing the chapter on a life devoted to art and love. He was not only a hero on screen, but also a man who found strength in silence, freedom in choice, and happiness in the simple life he built with the one he loved. Unlike the quiet yet meaningful life of Kerwin Matthews, Paul Lynde stepped into the spotlight with a completely different approach, humorous, sharp-witted, yet filled with inner turmoil. Born in 1926 in Ohio, Lynde was one of the most prominent comedic actors of the 20th century, known for his roles in Bewitched and the hit game show Hollywood Squares. With his biting satire, distinctive voice, and unique sense of humor, Lynde was the life of every stage he graced. Yet, behind the laughter lay a life burdened by societal pressures and profound loneliness. Hollywood at the time was not a welcoming place for someone like Lynde, a performer with a personality and demeanor that was considered too different from the traditional masculine norm. His sharp and often biting humor made him beloved by audiences, but also fueled speculation about his private life. Lynde never publicly acknowledged his sexual orientation, but his close friends knew of the inner conflict he endured, torn between the desire to live authentically and the constraints of societal expectations. Lynde's career thrived thanks to his unique talent, but his personal life was tumultuous. He struggled with alcoholism, driven in part by feelings of isolation and the inability to openly share his true self. Those close to him described a deep sadness behind his ever-present smile, a pain he couldn't fully express. Personal tragedy struck in the early 1960s when a close friend died under controversial circumstances. Though Lynde was not charged, the incident left a psychological scar that caused him to withdraw even further. Instead of confronting his emotions, he masked them with humor and the biting sarcasm of his on-screen and stage personas. Paul Lynde passed away in 1982 from a heart attack at the age of 55, leaving behind a legacy of laughter and fond memories for fans and colleagues. He was not just a gifted comedian, but also a complex individual trapped between the spotlight's glow and the shadows of his truth. The joy he brought to audiences endures, but it serves as a reminder that behind every laugh may lie a story the world has never truly known. The story of Charles Gray carries a different tone, elegance and mystery shrouding a personal life he chose to keep private. Born in 1928 in Bournemouth, England, Gray was best known for his roles as Ernst Stavro Blofeld in the James Bond series and the criminologist in the cult classic The Rocky Horror Picture Show. With his deep, resonant voice, commanding presence, and refined acting style, Gray captivated audiences every time he appeared on screen. Yet, in stark contrast to his prominent public image, his private life remained a mystery he never wished to unveil. Gray opted for discretion in an era when being openly gay was unimaginable for a male actor. Those close to him knew he was gay, but he never publicly disclosed this to protect his career and avoid becoming the subject of public speculation. Despite his reserved nature, Gray never felt the need to completely hide his true self. He cultivated close and enduring relationships with friends and colleagues in the entertainment industry who respected his choice. His discretion was not a form of denial, but a way for Gray to maintain control over his life in a society still steeped in prejudice. On screen, Gray exuded strength and authority, yet in real life, he was known for his gentle soul and sharp sense of humor. He loved the arts, frequently participating in stage productions and making significant contributions to British cinema. Gray never allowed societal biases to overshadow his career. Instead, he focused on delivering iconic performances that left an indelible mark. Charles Gray passed away in 2000 at the age of 71, leaving behind a remarkable career and the legacy of a truly elegant gentleman. He was proof that one can live authentically without revealing every facet of their life to the world. Gray's life mirrored his performances, layered and enigmatic, a story for audiences to admire but never fully understand. After the elegant mystery of Charles Gray, George Maharis brings us a dramatic story of grappling with prejudice and the cost of guarding personal secrets. Born in 1928 in Astoria, New York, Maharis was a familiar face on American television in the 1960s, most notably for his role as Buzz Murdoch in the series Route 66. With his striking looks, vibrant energy, and impressive acting talent, Maharis quickly became a symbol of freedom and adventure on screen. Yet, off-camera, his life was fraught with challenges. Maharis knew all too well that coming out as gay in that era was not only unthinkable, but could also destroy his career. To protect himself, he kept his private life hidden and cultivated a strong masculine image that aligned with his roles. However, this secret could not remain concealed forever. In 1967, Maharis was arrested for lewd conduct in a public restroom in Los Angeles. The arrest sparked widespread rumors about his sexual orientation and became a media sensation. Although Maharis never publicly confirmed or denied the rumors, the incident had a devastating impact on his career. Producers and directors, fearing public backlash, began to distance themselves from him. Once a rising star, Maharis saw opportunities for major projects dwindle, pushing him into the shadows of the entertainment industry. Despite these setbacks, Maharis did not abandon his passion for the arts. He continued to act in television and film, although he never regained his earlier prominence. Beyond acting, he found joy in painting and music, pursuits he embraced with great enthusiasm. Maharis chose a more private life, focusing on personal relationships and his own well-being rather than chasing fame. George Maharis passed away in 2023, leaving behind a legacy full of contradictions, a man who captivated audiences with his talent and charisma, but also became a victim of the harsh prejudices of his time. His story serves as a poignant reminder that even the strongest individuals carry secrets they are forced to protect, often at great personal cost. After the turbulence of George Maharis, Merv Griffin's story offers another perspective on keeping secrets in Hollywood. As one of the most successful television hosts in history, Griffin built an entertainment empire with iconic programs like The Merv Griffin Show and game shows such as Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune. Born in 1925 in San Mateo, California, he was remembered not only as a creative innovator, but also as a powerful figure in the entertainment industry. Yet behind his dazzling career lay a life filled with secrets and unending controversies. Griffin was famously private about his personal life, even in the face of persistent rumors regarding his sexual orientation. Throughout his career, he skillfully avoided questions about his private life, steering conversations toward his work and achievements. However, his discreet relationships within the entertainment industry did not escape the scrutiny of the press. Despite the rumors, Griffin never confirmed or denied anything, choosing silence as a shield to protect both himself and his career. In 1991, Griffin became embroiled in controversy when a former employee accused him of same-sex sexual harassment. The case was swiftly settled out of court, but the rumors about Griffin's private life intensified. Nevertheless, he maintained his calm demeanor and continued contributing to the entertainment world, refusing to let the controversies overshadow his substantial accomplishments. For Griffin, guarding his privacy was not an act of avoidance, but a means of focusing on what mattered most: his work and family. With his sharp business acumen and creative vision, he left behind a legacy that remains celebrated and admired to this day. Griffin passed away in 2007, closing the chapter on a life that was both illustrious and filled with hidden complexities. If Merv Griffin chose to guard his secrets with discretion, Tab Hunter faced the pressure of unwanted public scrutiny. Born in 1931 in New York, Tab Hunter was one of the brightest film stars of the 1950s, celebrated for his roles in movies like Battle Cry and Damn Yankees. With his striking good looks and captivating smile, Hunter quickly became Hollywood's golden boy. But behind the image was a life constrained by society's rigid expectations. Hollywood at the time had no room for stars whose personal lives deviated from the norm. Hunter understood that to sustain his career, he had to live two lives, one on screen and another in the shadows. Yet, his secret could not remain hidden forever. In 1955, Hunter was arrested during a raid at a gay party. Though the incident was not publicized at the time, it left a lasting scar on his life. In 2005, after decades of silence, Hunter chose to reveal the truth about his private life in his memoir, Tab Hunter Confidential. In the book, he candidly discussed his long-term relationship with producer Alan Glaser and the immense pressures he faced throughout his career. Hunter's life became a story of courage and determination to live authentically, despite prejudice and hardship. Tab Hunter passed away in 2018, leaving behind a legacy not just of memorable performances, but also of a man who faced the truth and overcame obstacles to find genuine happiness. After the brilliant career and hidden secrets of Tab Hunter, Sal Mineo's story serves as a painful reminder of the fragility of life under the spotlight. Born in 1939 in the Bronx, New York, Mineo was a talented young actor best known for his role as Plato in Rebel Without a Cause alongside James Dean. This performance earned him 2 Oscar nominations and established him as one of Hollywood's brightest rising stars. Yet, behind his ascending career, Mineo faced the prejudices and pressures of society. As a gay man in an era that was unforgiving of differences, Mineo had to keep his personal life hidden to protect his career. However, by the 1970s, he began to live more openly, taking on bold artistic projects and being candid about his sexuality within close circles of friends. Tragically, his life was cut short in 1976 when he was murdered during a robbery in Los Angeles. Sal Mineo's death was not only a significant loss to the arts, but also a bitter reminder of the dangers faced by those who choose to live authentically in a prejudiced society. If Sal Mineo endured a cruel fate, Richard Chamberlain's story is one of a long journey toward freedom and acceptance. Born in 1934 in Beverly Hills, Chamberlain became widely known for his starring role in the television series Dr. Kildare, a cultural phenomenon of the 1960s. With his dashing good looks and captivating acting style, he quickly became a heartthrob for millions of fans. But beneath this perfect facade lay a life bound by societal expectations. During the peak of his career, Chamberlain kept his sexual orientation a closely guarded secret, fearing that coming out would ruin everything he had built. It wasn't until 2003, at the age of 69, that he decided to share his truth in his memoir, Shattered Love. In the book, he detailed his long-term relationship with producer Martin Rabbit. By embracing his truth, Chamberlain found peace and became an inspiration for many others in the LGBTQ+ community. The stories of these Hollywood stars in this article are not just fragments of cinematic history. They are vivid testaments to the relentless struggle between the dazzling spotlight and the shadows of personal secrets. They gave audiences dreams and intense emotions on screen, yet behind the velvet curtain of the stage lay pain, sacrifice, and inner turmoil that few could fully comprehend. From Rudolph Valentino, the emblem of romantic passion, to Ian McKellen, a beacon of courage and freedom, each figure has a unique story. Some chose silence to protect what they cherished, while others boldly revealed their truths, becoming trailblazers for societal change. They lived with difficult decisions, but each of those choices imparts a profound lesson about courage, compassion, and the value of personal freedom. Decades later, these stories remain as relevant as ever, not only reminding us of the harshness of their times, but also awakening empathy and appreciation for those who dared to live authentically, no matter the circumstances. What are your thoughts on these deeply moving stories? Which of them left the deepest impression on you, and why? Share your feelings in the comments section below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to join us on a journey of exploring the human and inspiring sides of Hollywood legends. Their stories are not merely relics of the past, but eternal sources of inspiration for the present and future.